I'm Mary Horn, and today we're going to teach your dog to leave it. Leave it is a very useful cue if you don't want your dog to touch something that might be dangerous, such as a pill or hardware, or if your dog has something that you don't want them to have, such as your shoe or glove, or even their leash. You will need a hungry dog, lots of small, soft, easily swallowed treats, and a quiet place to start so your dog can focus. When you begin to teach Leave It, have your hungry dog and a couple of varieties of different types of treats, lower value and high value. I'm going to take a piece of Kibble, which is a low value treat, in the hand I'm going to ask the dog to leave. In my other hand, I will have several very tasty treats so that the dog gets heavily rewarded for leaving the thing I've asked. In the beginning, I'm going to take my hand, put my thumb over the treat, fingers over that, so that the dog can smell the treat but not be able to actually taste it. Left hand goes behind the back, and the right hand with the treat in it is going to go down towards the dog's nose. I'm going to hold my hand steady here at nose level and let him nose, mouth, paw, whatever he wants to do to try to get it, as long as he wants to without moving this hand. As soon as he backs away a little bit, I'm going to click or say yes and feed from the hand that's behind my back. At this point, you're not saying anything. You're only teaching the dog that going directly for what they want is not the way to get it. He's backing away more quickly now because he realizes that by mauling this hand, it's not going to get it to open. Once you can bet that your dog will either back away from the hand within about 1 second or will not touch it at all, then you can start to add a cue. I'm going to test to see how this dog is doing. He's not quite ready. We'll do a couple more silently. Oh, my goodness. Good. Okay. Now he's remembered. Okay. When you're going to add your cue, start by saying your cue when your hand is up on your chest. Bo, leave it. Put your hand down. When the dog backs off, you're going to click or say yes and feed as usual. Oh my goodness, such a lab. Bo, you ready? Good. Bo, leave it. Bo, leave it. Bo, leave it. You can start to add a little distance from the dog's nose now to check to be sure that they're really getting the idea of backing away from the hand. Bo, leave it. He's hardly touching it at all, so I think I can go to the next level. Bo, leave it. Good. At the next level, you're going to present your hand open so that the treat is visible, but far enough away and a little bit above the dog's head so the dog can't accidentally grab it. The most important thing right now is to make sure that your dog does not have access to the thing you've asked them to leave. I'm going to put my hand about 2 inches above and 8 inches in front of his nose so that I can ensure that he's not going to be able to get it. If he goes for it, I'm simply going to close my hand, pick up the fist, and say oops or some other marker that tells him he's not on the right track. Bo, leave it. Oops. Bo, leave it. Good. At this point, it's very important to set your dog up for success. Bo, leave it. Oops. Bo, leave it. Good boy. Bo, leave it. It's helpful but not essential to have your dog in a sit at this point because they're going to be less likely to move forward in a sit or a down. Bo, leave it. Good. He's clearly understanding that the reward is not coming from the right hand. So now it's time to switch hands and make sure that the dog understands it's not only the right hand you need to leave, it's any hand. To do this, you're going to switch everything up, have the leave it treat in your other hand, and the treats and clicker if you're using it behind your back. I'm going to go back and do the exercise from the beginning so that he understands now we're leaving the left hand. Most dogs can't transfer that knowledge right away. What? Put the fist down, let them gnaw, paw, whatever, as long as they need to. When they back off, click and feed from the other hand. Usually this side goes faster because the dog has learned something about backing off on their own. He wants to nibble on my hand because I had the high value treats in there also. Good. There we go. Okay. At this point you can add the cue again for using your other hand. Bo, leave it. Good. I'm going to place my hand a little bit farther away from his nose so he can succeed. Bo, leave it. Bo, leave it. And one more. Bo, leave it. There's no need to yell at your dog for this, okay? If you want to make sure your dog understands, if you're in an upset voice, you can also teach them, Bo, leave it. But it doesn't really help the dog's learning. So I like to do everything in a happy, upbeat voice because actually it's all tricks to the dog. Once your dog is understanding that leave it means don't touch this item, now we can start to go lower towards the ground but not closer. So I'm going to have him in a sit for this. I'm going to remind him what he's doing. Come over here, buddy, so we can see good. Bo, leave it. Oops. Bo, leave it. Yes. Now he's remembered. Now I'm going to go lower but not closer. Bo, leave it. Oops. Bo, leave it. Bo, leave it. Yes. Good job. Some dogs need to have the treat farther away at this point, especially labs, as we all know, are very food motivated, so they're going to want to go for the food in the fastest way possible. Bo, leave it. I'm going to leave him at this stage for a little bit because he is struggling with when I move my hand lower. Bo, leave it. Good boy. That's very good. Gradually, you're going to get your hand all the way down onto the ground. Oh my goodness, you ready? Ate that one too fast. Ready, bud? Go ahead. Believe it. Oops. Believe it. Yes. Good job.